The feelings of nostalgia. The feelings that everything comes together in the end. The sadness of not having that same sense of naivety. Warpugs. It's the rogue. My first ever character in D&D. I remember playing this, and there are characters I can't even remember that I played. I was so into this character. It was so much fun. If you have ever played in Faerun, well, not Faerun, sorry. If you ever played with the setting for Dragonlance, my first character in D&D ever was an elf rogue from the Sylvanesti Nation named Arton. And I remember so much about playing this character. It just nights over, like at my friend Kevin's house, just sitting there, me, a few of my friends over there, just drinking Mountain Dew, rolling dice, eating pizza, and laughing, and just enjoying being around each other. Warpugs, this was my first character I ever played in D&D, and I have never gotten over the fact that since then, I haven't got many chances to play another one. Warpugs, let me know what your first character class was, if you remember it, in the description down below. Hit the like and subscribe button. This is JoCat's Crap Guide to D&D 5th edition, The Rogue.
Since I was a child, I had to grow up on the streets, wrestling alley bears for food and fighting guards for my own freedom.
Yeah.
It was in those streets that I knew I couldn't trust anyone but myself. The only thing for sure was that I had to find the monsters who put me there, to exact my revenge, and finally put my restless hunger for blood at ease.
Yeah.
So is that why you're standing in the corner of a tavern conspicuously?
That's
True.
something deeply mysterious and intriguing for you to find out. But I doubt you'd understand all the pain and suffering I've had to endure to—
All right then, I'll see you later.
Wait, no, you were supposed to be deeply interested and ask me more about my backstory. You know what? I'm tired of being another cog in the machine of an adventuring party. I'm going off on my own, following my own creed, and doing what needs to be done. That's right, I'm going rogue. Do you get it? Rogues are the sneaky, stabby, skilly, willy utility monkeys of the
Must wear black, one stab man, please stop moving, weird obsession with feathers. What? Doesn't drink because they can only do cheap shots. I see what you did there.
Forgotten Realms, and the best pick if you're a backseat gamer since it lets you interrupt someone trying their best because they weren't doing it right. However, if you want to Mary Sue it up even more than you already are, you also get expertise so that you can upgrade those proficiencies to anime protagonist levels of ridiculous. Now I know what you're thinking, this sounds a lot like Bard, and while that's partly true, the difference is rogues aren't automatically assumed to be the comic relief. Instead, they're deep, dark, and brooding. 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, holidays excluded because who could be grumpy on Christmas? The other main difference is their unique combat feature, the sneak attack, and because the names in D&D are always inaccurate, you don't actually have to be low to the ground and covered in shit to deal the sneak attack bonus damage, but rather anytime the enemy's just not feeling up to it today and just wants to get it over with. This means if the enemy's being flanked, or if they're laying prone on the ground, or they just bragged about how high their IQ is, you know, things that would make them really easy to stab. You are, incidentally, not very easy to stab since you have a whopping 4 goddamn features dedicated to make you more difficult to pin down than figuring out if that teasing banter you had with your friend actually hurt their feelings or not. You can dodge when it's your turn, dodge when it's not your turn, dodge a giant ball of fire, and even dodge having to pay the bill on a first date. One especially unique trait of the rogue is their exclusive language, thieves can't. Thieves can't what? I don't have the slightest clue, because it allows you to say a whole bunch of jargon that somehow translates into a completely different sentence. Timmy's having tea with the local blacksmith actually means let's go to the temple and steal some of the cleric's donations. Speaking of stealing, the thief archetype means you're especially fast at doing thiefy things, like picking locks, chugging potions, and hardcore parkour. Assassin makes your stabs extra stabby, and you can stab while disguising yourself as a child you saw who you can point to later and say they did it. Arcane.
I never got to play Assassin. I did want to try an Assassin out, but You can only do what you can do.
Trickster basically turns you into a bard, except less talented or attractive, and allows you to hocus pocus somebody's wallet from 3 miles away. Mastermind is straight up Sherlock Holmes, complete with the assholery and catchy theme music. Swashbuckler won't stop bugging people to 1v1 them. And Scout, which is yet another better alternative to Ranger. Your job is to make sure everybody knows how much better you are at doing everything. Because when the going gets tough, you know the party's going to turn to you one day and ask you to please pick the lock on the door to the king's castle because the bard accidentally kicked the guard in the genitals trying to seduce them. And you'll gladly show them all the skills you've learned from growing up in such a harsh and unforgiving environment that was once your home, forcing you to learn questionable means and morally ambivalent beliefs in order to survive. Just try not to cut yourself on that edge while you're at it. And now you know how to play rogue, you're welcome.
I played an elven rogue. I played a rogue that, with the agreement of the, one of the worst D&D stories I ever had was when I played a rogue. The worst D&D stories, and everybody has at least one. I joined up with a group, and I wanted to play, like, it was the assassin run. I wanted to play a neutral evil assassin. It was the first time I really wanted to play an evil character. And I just wanted to eventually have a character that was an assassin. I had been thinking about it for quite some time, and I just wanted to play an assassin. That's all I wanted to do. So I had this storyline built up and all this other kind of stuff. I was playing with a whole bunch of new people. I had played with the DM before, and he said he had a spot, so of course, I'm like, cool, no problem, I'd love to show up. And there was this one guy that played with us, and I knew I wasn't going to like him within 15 minutes of meeting him. I knew I wasn't going to like him. Now, of course, there were rules set down for me. It's like, you can't party kill, which, of course, I wasn't gonna party kill. Like, it's like, dude, no, I want to play this character. I want to do this and blah, 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 blah. And so, he knew I wasn't gonna party kill. He just said it anyway. Just don't party kill. I'm like, okay, of course. The day I show up, I sit down, I'm meeting, like, there's 5 players. I'm meeting 3 of them for the first time. One of them knew me from another game. And I'm sitting down, and as soon as I put my character sheet down, this guy leans over and looks at my character sheet. And then he leans back. And I found out he played the Paladin because as soon as our characters met each other, because they met out, I can't remember if there was a tavern or whatever that the characters met in, they were looking for someone who could, take care of, basically do rogue stuff. Soon as we get out of town, he casts Detect Evil. He just casts Detect Evil, and he looks at me with a smarmy smile on his face because he was playing the Paladin. And even the DM looked at him like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And the entire time, I'm having to deal with him and the rest of the party just conspiring against the character. And I was beginning to take it personal. Because there's a line that gets drawn with me where you need to knock it off. And so what this guy was doing, I understand threats in game, but after the 5th time, he said, if you try anything, blah, 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 this, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. It starts getting annoying to me. And then finally, he just looks me dead in the eye and he says, go ahead and do anything and I'm going to beat your ass. At that point, I'm pissed off. And I informed him of that. Now, here's the thing. I am about 6 foot tall and I'm a little bit close to 300 pounds. And when I get pissed off, I get kind of scary. So, that caused a little bit of an incident. So everybody, it kind of broke up the game for a little bit. And I'm just so irritated. I'm so done. And we all break for a couple of minutes to go, get some stuff done. We're about halfway through the session. And I'm just sitting there like completely and totally done. I walk outside to have a cigarette. I walk back in, and the guy that I normally play with came up to me. He's like, dude, they're going to kill your character and then take all your stuff because you're evil. And I just sat there. I looked down. I was like, are you gotta be kidding me? Are you what? So we go into the dungeon, all this other kind of stuff, and come back out. It was this thing. It was a short little thing to get everybody, around each other. And I write down something on a piece of paper and pass it to the DM. And I told them, yeah, I'll take first watch. And the paladin elected to take first watch with me. And it was the first and only time I've ever done this in the entire time I played D&D. And I flat out, I looked at the DM, passed him the note. He looked at me. He read the note, looked at me. He was like, and he just sat there. He had understood how irritated I was. He understood how irritated I was, and he was really irritated himself. He said, go ahead. I said, fine. And I started rolling, and he said, roll damage. And everybody's getting concerned, and I just keep on saying, okay, so that's what I'm doing. And he's having the paladin roll checks against me and all this other kind of stuff. The paladin tried to metagame, the DM wouldn't allow him, and I wiped the party out. Wiped the party out. I was so irritated. And the paladin got really upset. Of course, the paladin got really upset. I said, after I did the rolls, which was the sneak attack against the paladin, and pretty much the hide against the paladin against his perception, which he didn't have much of, and the sneak attack against the paladin, the damage against the paladin, pretty much one-shot the paladin. I just went over and I was like, okay, coup de grace, coup de grace, coup de grace, coup de grace, and game. And I was done. And I was pissed off beyond belief. And at that point, the guy that played the paladin wanted to come to blows with me until I stood up. And then offered if he wanted to go outside, we could figure this out. Because I had no problem with it at that point. I've never done that before, and I haven't done it since. But it's the one time I have ever done something like that. Because of the shit. Because if you just, I just don't understand people sometimes. It's like, you just met me. Don't be popping off like that to me. Don't be looking me in the eyes and trying to lord over me like this. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. I had something like that happen in a Warhammer store one time, and the guy got kicked out over it. It was so just absolutely done with stuff. But I still want to play an assassin. I'm never going to get a chance to, though. Warpugs, that sucks. All of JoCat's links are in the description down below. My sadness will be in the description down below as well, right next to my links. Come check me out. Go to the Discord, everything like that. And I'll catch you guys next time. I'm going to go cry now over my crushed dreams.